I know you've landed on this video because you have a product to sell. Maybe you offer a service, a solution. You've been through sales training before and you're still wondering why you haven't really had the breakthrough that you truly want, whether it's getting enough leads into your business, converting clients at a high level, and it doesn't matter what sales techniques you follow, what methodologies you go through, something isn't quite landing the way that you want. I'm going to answer exactly why in this, I'm going to call it a training. In this training, and it's going to be a different sales training to what you've done before. We're taking sales from a completely different angle and something that I haven't seen talked about on any level in the sales training arena yet. Once you see it, you'll never unsee it and you can instantly break through. I'm not saying this so you stick around on the video. I'm saying it because I've been teaching sales for 20 plus years. I'm 45 now. I've been teaching sales since I was 22 and I've been in sales, sold high ticket more than 5,000, 6,000 times. I've helped 1,000 plus clients in the online space. I've consulted for a lot of big brands. So you're in good hands for this video. But the funny thing is that for everything that I've seen when it comes to selling my own products and services, when it comes to helping others, it is not so much about the tools, the techniques, and the tactics. It is much more about how you feel within your body, because this is the reality. 20 plus years in sales, one thing that I've learned, you can learn every single technique, you can learn every tool to sell more of your product, to bring more people into your world, but if you don't feel safe within your body, and this isn't going to turn into a energy healing, let's all sit around some crystals and meditate for the sales that we want. This is very matter of fact. If you don't feel safe within your body, then you are going to repel the sale. We have this thing within the mind called mirror neurons, and this is scientifically proven, where when you enter a room, you will instantly feel the energy that's within that room. So if you go into a room where everybody's happy, everyone's at a party, you're gonna feel, wow, this is a good room to be around. If you walk into a room and there's a negative energy, say someone's just had an argument, you walk into that room, you know already. Why? Because as human beings, we are not designed, and our mind specifically is not designed for our success, it's designed for our survival. This is why you can walk into a room and before you've consciously realized, your mind has observed the room, it's got the vibe from the room, and how it's done this is not through some esoteric, wow, I can read energy. It's very simple. To survive, we have to fit in. And the way that we fit in is mirror neurons fire. If we sense negativity, the neural pathways within the people in the room will be the negative neural pathways, or the neural pathways that feel negativity. So when you walk in the room, you're going to mirror that. There was an experiment done with, I think, chimpanzees, and the scientists had these chimpanzees all wired up with their minds all connected with these electrodes. One of the scientists said, it's a hot day, I'm gonna go get some ice cream. Went to get the rest of the scientists' ice cream, came back, and when they were having the ice cream, the chimpanzees could see the scientists eating ice cream. The lights on the screen all fired, that the neural pathways within the chimpanzees, the part of the brain that was firing was the part that meant like a sweet snack. So in other words, ice cream. And this is where mirror neurons were discovered. So back to sales. Why does this matter? It matters more than anything because if you are stuck in survival mode, or you feel that selling is convincing, or you're having to use all these techniques that you're uncomfortable with, but specifically, let's keep this very straightforward. If you are in survival mode, which most people are when it comes to running their own business, I've worked with a lot of self-employed entrepreneurs, business owners, service providers, the list is endless, coaches, consultants, and they always ask me, Pete, I need the training. I'm like, cool, but if you don't feel safe within your body, then you're going to be repelling your client subconsciously, because when you sit down with somebody, because the intention, remember this, the intention is always the thing that comes through. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to think about the last 30 days in your business, and don't worry about anything that you said to any client. I only want you to observe and remember the true intention you had when you sat down with a client, because reactively we will always say, of course I'm there to help the individual. Cool, okay, you're there to help them, but there's always something deeper. Sub-communication is always taking place. And for the thousands of people that I've trained, I have seen again and again, what stops them is not a lack of tools, techniques, etc. It is because the intention, even though they may want to help people, to help their clients, when they sit down with a potential client, whether it's online or face-to-face, they slip into this survival. They slip into this validation. And the intention becomes, I need to make the sale. I need to have this person like me. I need to be validated. And it can come up in many, many different ways. But this sub-communication will show in the way that you breathe. It will show in the way that your shoulders might be slightly raised, the way that you break eye contact, or you have a slight frustration in your tone of voice. The list is endless. There are these micro facial expressions, thousands of them going on at any given time. And your client, or I should say your potential client, because they might not be your client yet, they will read this subconsciously. And if you need the sale more than the client needs the help, this is where we're in survival. So if you need the sale more than the client needs the help, they will subconsciously, in other words, they're probably not even going to realize this, they're going to feel that desperation from you. They're going to lose trust within you. And that's why they're going to say, I need to think about it. And for all the objection handling training that you might have done, once trust is lost, there is no moving forward. So the work that I do with my clients on a very deep level is somatic. It's helping them to break through. And yes, it is the tools, the training, because you need training. This is not purely, we're going to break through with just shifting my intention or my identity. Those things are cool. I do a lot of deep identity work with my clients. But the main thing that needs to happen is we need to shift from this survival into a place of true care. The same goes for on video. Right now I'm filming this and you will feel my energy through the screen. Would you say, and I want you to sit with this and comment below, would you say that my energy is in survival? Am I stressed about this video? Am I worried about the validation that I get from you? Or am I here because I sincerely wish to help you? I want you to break through. I want the message to land in a beautiful way. And even if one person watches this video and it shifts the way that they sell forever, and I don't overpromise with that, then that's a wonderful thing. So in other words, what would you say is my intention? But also, I meant to say this earlier, I want you to comment below and let me know about the last 30 days, how you've been selling. And it's not just because you might say, well, Pete, I've not actually met anybody face to face or even had a consultation online. Okay, cool. But how are you selling on social media? How are you showing up? What are you doing video like? Watch your videos back for the last 30 days. How are you coming across? How do you feel when you film video? How do you feel when you are writing content? Because all of that, believe it or not, the intention, your energy comes through. This is why sales is an energy game. So the big question you probably got is, Pete, how do I break through with all of this? Well, the bad news, it's deep work. It truly is practicing, and to a point in your mind and practicing the actual real life skills in sales, that you reach a point where you say, I can do this from the right intention. It becomes, first of all, conscious competence, but then unconscious competence. So step one is awareness. And right now that you're watching this video and you've seen this, you'll never unsee it again. Somebody that has all the right tools and techniques and has been through all the sales training in the world, but they're holding on to survival, they will infinitely struggle to sell over somebody who doesn't have any tools and techniques. And I'm not saying that they're winging it, but they have a pure intention of calm. Well, they're coming across calm because they are calm and they have a pure intention to help the individual in front of them. So the first step is awareness. Be aware of what your body is doing. Be aware. So before I sat down, I mean this, before I sat down to film this video, rather than scripting it all out and thinking, how do I need to come across? I sat down, I became aware of my energy. Am I filming this video because I need to upload another YouTube video? And I just asked within my body, what's happening here? Am I filming this because I really want more leads, more clients into my business? Or am I filming it because it's from the highest level of love and bliss? And let's bring this back to sales. If you're wondering what helps you break through truly, it's when you are sat with a potential client. And I want you to visualize this. You're sat face to face with them. And your intention is purely to help them. So much, in fact, that you're entirely present with that individual. In that moment, all of your worries, all of your fears disappear. because you have a desire to want to help that individual with every cell and all the space between those cells within your body. Like, wow, I'm going to help this individual. But equally, you are not attached to the outcome. You're not worried if the client says yes or no. You're purely there to help them, to see in a different way, to solve their problem where it becomes their idea, not because you manipulate it. Because 20 plus years in sales, the one thing that I've definitely learned, people don't respond, especially today, to manipulation, and we shouldn't be doing that approach anyways. They respond to trust. They respond to sincerity, the intention to truly help. So you sit with your client, you want to help them so much that you're completely present. You forget yourself. Imagine this, how does it feel? And you're not actually there to close them, you're there for them to have the breakthrough, for them to have the aha moments and to say, wow, I never thought about it this way before. And then the techniques can leave. You don't need to worry about the right sales techniques. So step one is awareness. Get as much awareness around how you sell as possible. This is what I do within my community. This is how I support my clients. We're not just talking tools and techniques, because tools and techniques are one thing, but it's a deep level of awareness and a constant reminder. Like brushing your teeth, you need to do it twice a day. I'm learning Thai right now because I live in Thailand, and I listen 8 to 10 hours a day to Thai. I watch Thai movies. If I'm watching any movie, I watch it in Thai. And it is a subconscious game. I tried learning Thai in classrooms, and on a conscious level, it was just never enough. I need a constant, daily reminder. It's a language. For you to thrive with your business is actually deeper than sales. It's a language too. And you got to embody that and ask, what's the real reason why you're doing this? And from there, the practice does help. And this is why with my clients, we constantly practice the consultation, how you sit with the client, because knowing what questions to ask, the way to do it. But this is a building block on top of your energetics. Does this make sense? So it's a building block on top of everything else that you put down. Then you practice selling in a way from who you truly are, a way that you connect with the client on a deep level. You ask them questions that they're not asking themselves. And I'd love to go into so much more detail with you, but this is a language. And just so you know, I'm actually going to be hosting a workshop in which you get to have an entire day with me, and we go through step by step, embodying everything that I'm sharing with you now. How you are able to sit down with a client and shift to that place where you're in total calm. You know that you can help them. You're not dropping into that place of survival. And then having, not a script, I don't believe in scripts, but then having a framework of everything that happens before you even speak to a client. Then how you sit down and communicate with the client. And you're going to get to practice it in a really wonderful environment as well. And by the end of the day, you would have implemented this into your business, and it works across multiple industries. I've worked with 30, 40 plus industries, from beauty therapists to graphic designers to sports coaches. The list is endless. And this is your invite to be a part of it. Do have an application process. It's going to take you about 5 minutes. Then you just click the link below that's going to take you through to the application. Bearing in mind, you've just sat through this video for pretty much 15 minutes, so it might be a very good decision for you. Okay, thank you so much for checking out this video. If you've not hit the subscribe button, if you haven't commented, please do so. Every single comment, every single subscriber, I appreciate every single one. And yeah, I hope to get to meet you on one of my workshops as well.